Okay, we are getting ready to start today's live. So if you are tuning in at the top of this video, go ahead and grab something to sip on or craft with while we do a quick unboxing today. But we're going to give a few minutes for our viewers to come on in, all right? All right, we're going to bring this up a little bit so we get a little bit more viewer space here. All right. And just a moment, let us wait till a few of our friends get in. All right. Welcome back to the Lovely Lab. Today's live, we will be unboxing this Faber-Castell. It's called a Try It box with some wet mediums in it. Now, this is one of the items that I received in my huge, enormous, epic box received over the weekend. I think it was Friday. And give me just a second, as I think my Bluetooth is connected to this, and we don't want that. 1 second. All right, we should be all right here. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, so this is one of the items, one of the plethora of things that I received in that box yesterday. Compliments of our good friend Maria of Alchemy. And if you are not familiar with that channel, there'll be a link to it in the description box at the conclusion of this video. And if you're watching in the replay, you probably will already have access to it. I encourage you to head over there after the video and take a look to see what she has to offer. She always has a plethora of information, an abundance, a wealth of knowledge as it pertains to art supplies. And it's pretty much a go-to place for me as, looking to embark on some new mediums or looking to see and offers, maybe student grade, because that's where I'm at. Maria typically has a video somewhere in her arsenal of the catalog of information and videos that she's currently already collected, or should I say accumulated. All right, and so let me take a look at the chat. Hey, chat. We've got Maria is here in the chat. Hey, girl. Hey. So you see, I got the box out. My intentions was to start at 7 o'clock. However, due to some technical glitches, we are starting a little late, but y'all don't mind. I'm sure y'all don't care. And Roberta, it's so good to see you here. It's been quite some time. I am happy that you was able to make it to today's live. By the way, I've been up since 4 o'clock. I'm a little tired, and when I conclude this live, I'll be going to work for about 3 hours. So I'll be getting a cup of tea, get a little extra caffeine. All right. So I will not be here with a bunch of rambling one because I don't have the energy for it. I have just enough energy to entertain the masses with this unboxing and swatching and playing. And so that is what we are going to be doing today. Now I'm excited to put my hands on all of what's in this box. And I hope everybody's having a good day today. This is a beautiful Sunday here in Georgia. The sun is shining. The sky is a beautiful powder blue, and little clouds in the sky. I think it got up to maybe 84 today. So, yeah, and I was out doing some more yard work and probably shouldn't have. I should have been resting, but it is what it is. We got to keep that heart and that blood flow going, pumping through this body correctly. So, anyways, moving back over here. Um, let's see. So, the Faber-Castell story. Now, I'll read that on my own. But let me just take it. It looks like a little newspaper. How cute is that? Faber-Castell's development. So they use sustainable products. Let me see. They're ecologically friendly, economically friendly too, probably. Let me see. No, it says produce 2.3 billion graphite and color pencils per year laid into would circle the globe. Okay, so they use recycled materials in order to create some of their products, which I'm glad that I know that, because if I'm looking price for price, I definitely will always go for the one that I'm familiar with, contributing to a better world, better society. So, thumbs up for that. So recycled materials. Okay, so I will read that at a later point in time, but perhaps if you're interested, maybe go to their website and it'll probably be in their about page. And, become a little bit more familiar with them yourself. Now, this is just giving a little bit more information on the items that they have. I'm not going to go through that right on here for time's sake, because at this point I've got 30 minutes. So we are going to hop right into this and see all of what they have. Now, I pulled out my little swatch book, and I'm probably going to need my watercolor swatch. This is just for acrylics and different mediums, this swatch book. This is just some handmade one that I made with some scrap cardstock for acrylics and stuff. And then this is the one that you see virtually in every watercolor swatching. This is the one made by Maria. Don't y'all hear her name all the time? That's because she's made such an impact in the lives of the art community. And I consider myself to be of the art community as well. So I'm a beneficiary of her goodwill and knowledge. Okay, so here is the Faber-Castell Aqua. What is that? What is it? Okay. Yeah. Aqua are fully soluble in water. You can determine the opacity or transparency of the color by adjusting the intensity of the dryly applied color and the amount of water. For shading, you hold the pencil in a very flat position. Okay, I got it. No, I don't. I mean, I glazed over it, but I need a lot more than a good glazing in order to really. So we are just going to do a brief swatching, and then maybe off camera I'll probably have to do a little bit deeper dive into how they work, and how rich the pigments are, and so on and so forth. So first off, that's what we're going to swatch right now. We're going to go ahead and swatch these water soluble pencils. Would we call them a pencil? Let me find a pen, permanent pen. All right, your ride or die sketchbook. Yes, that sketchbook it's getting quite the bit of mileage, isn't it? I love it. It's really the extra dangle that it's the finishing touch for me. It's nothing that says extra. I'm real extra, like a good bell on something. You could put a bell on a bike and it's like automatically extra. You put a bell on a shoe or a boot, it's extra. Why not put a bell on your journal along with some beads? Just let everybody know you're extra without saying you're extra. They're gonna come to that conclusion anyways. You know what I mean? Okay. All right, what do we have here? All right, now if you're just coming in, I am unboxing the Faber-Castell Try It box, featuring some wet mediums in here. as well as it's got a couple extra things in here too. Probably should have just shown y'all everything. Well, why don't we do that? Okay, so in it, there are the 6 watercolor pencils, which I just pulled out and was completely oblivious as to what type of pencil it was, as y'all saw. But had I would have read right here, we would have not had to take the time to, anywho. All right, and so then we have a dual marker. I'm excited to try that out. Oh, these are watercolor tube paints. Do I have Faber-Castell paints? Any of I do have a watercolor set. I have not unboxed it yet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is student grade. Um, they're made in Germany. Okay. And so I don't have any information on the light fastness of this. Let's see. It might have it on here. It might, but I'm not going to take up your time with trying to do the research on that. I will, if you have questions and you want to know, just drop it in the comment, not the chat, after this video is done, and that way I'll see it. But if chat doesn't come along with the video, I might not be able to see it. Any other questions on any of the items you see here, just leave them in the comment section once the video is in replay mode. Okay, so we've got the water soluble pencils. We got a dual watercolor marker or dual marker, which I'm assuming if it's in this box, then it may be watercolor marker. And then we've got the 4 watercolor tubes. I love the colors that they selected. You've got the cadmium yellow, middle purple, pink. That's my first time hearing that. Well, I said it yesterday, but when I unboxed it, when I got it out of the gift box. Then you got light blue and emerald green. So those are very pretty colors. Very summery colors. And then we've got, and then I'm going to go ahead and take everything out of this box because why not? Then we've got a watercolor, excuse me, not watercolor, but we have a water cup, a collapsible water cup. I love these. I love them especially because this is great for conserving space, like right now. That's just an old Dollar Tree water cup. It's well used, well loved. And my other collapsible cup is actually behind me with acrylic paint in it, because why use it for what it was intended for? Just destroy it with something that ain't gonna come out of it, like acrylic paint. All right, and then we've got the water brush. We can fill that up. I'm not going to use this today because it's a smaller brush, and I need larger for expediency. All right, so let's go ahead and take these out. Really cute colors. And the pencils, they have pencils to match. So we're going to do the pencils, then we will do the tubes, and then we will move on to the marker. I'm excited. I'm saving the best for last. It's not that I'm more excited, but I don't know anything about that marker. So there we go. All right, let's get it here, girls and guys. So this is the Faber-Castell page. All right, y'all still here? Anybody falling asleep? If you're watching this in the replay, please let me know that you stopped by, and where did you stop by from? Are you here in the U.S.? What city? What state? Maybe you don't want to tell the city. We're not going to stalk you, but it would be nice to know where the viewers, where the family, where the community is at. All right, moving right along. Okay, so I am going to go from lightest to dark. Let me make sure y'all can see. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to use the cadmium. I'm assuming that this is 107, so let's bring you down a little bit just so you can see. Yep. Bear with me, folks. Not that we haven't already taken up enough time with my yapping. Okay, so I'm just going let's see. Let's see what shading, what light, what happens if you go light. Probably should have started that off a little further out. And then I'm just going a little heavier at the end. All right, so that's that one. Let's go with the orange. Okay. Then we've got a pink. And I'm just going darker, going over the, basically layering it towards the end. And then we've got a purple. I'm just going down to the next level. I'm going light there. Just want to see how easy it is to um, activate. We'll use that word. Activate the color. Now I'm not going to press into the paper like I did the other ones. I'm just going to continue to layer over to see if the pigment just pops. Pops like I know what I'm looking for. All right, then we've got, I don't know what color this is. This is the emerald green, I'm assuming. At least that's what it was in the watercolor tubes. Anybody working on anything new? Hi, Marlene. I'm glad you could join us. You having a good night? Did you create anything today? Anybody create anything? Maria, I think I saw a video you uploaded today. I haven't watched it yet. I've been on the move. And you've been pretty busy as well. For those who have not checked out Maria's channel, she's been doing a few lives, bringing us the updates, what's going on over at Michael's. Not that there's anything going on, but there's been quite a bit of deals she's gotten over there. And as well as some probably important information as pertains to shipping and purchasing from overseas with all of the new policies that are related to. I want to be in the spirit of vagueness, the new changes that we are experiencing with this administration, with purchasing and supporting businesses overseas with our purchases. So there are a number of changes, and it impacts the craft stores and the art supply stores as well. So it doesn't just stop at like regular wholesale retail type situations. It trickles right on down to those supply stores that you know and love, the non big box stores. Okay, so let's take a look and see. I'm bringing you on down so y'all can see this, because you should see how this goes. All right, so I am just going to oh my goodness, y'all see that? They're gorgeous. Look at and they're vivid. Holy moly, that's nice. Okay, let me go over to a darker color so y'all can get it, because I don't think I ain't hear the standing ovation. I didn't hear the major applause as I wet this. Let me know if y'all seeing what I'm seeing. Look at that. Look at how well this is activated by water, and it doesn't lose its vibrancy. Now, that's not to say it won't do what all other watercolors do once it dries, which is, lighten a little bit. But for what it's worth, I don't see a lot of, and not like I've tried so many, but I don't see a lot of watercolor pencils that melt, if you will, that well. So this is quite impressive to me. Now let's take a look at this pink. Ooh, let me get some of that water out of there. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Okay, y'all get it. I'm sure y'all get it. Look at that. That is so pretty. see. Hold on a second. I thought I had a clip here to hold this down. I did. I did. This is. I need to be able to. I need to be free. Let's see if I can. I don't even think this is gonna hold that like that. Let's see. There we go. No, it's really not. But we'll work with what we got. All right. Let's see. Let me look at the chat before I move on to the second row. All right. It was a great video. Hey, fam. Well, here. North Georgia. North Georgia, my neighbor. I got a friend who said that he was moving up there earlier today. One of the guys in our neighborhood, North Georgia. He said he's going to be about 20 minutes from Tennessee. Wherever the city is, he said it starts with a C, maybe Calhoun. I'm not from Georgia, so, he could have told me he was moving to, the city of West Hell, and I would have been like, okay, well, is that East Georgia or what? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if it's Calhoun. That may be a word that's just floating around in my brain. So correct me if I'm wrong. Marlene, is that even an actual city? He just told me about 3 hours ago. Okay. Um, yep, from the great state of Georgia. All right. All right, let's see. Maria says, yes, I paint. You painted a 3-year a 3-year project. Also painted some grapes. Delicious. For tomorrow for Labor Day and immigration. It was a childhood memory. Do tell about, is tomorrow immigration day, or is that like the anniversary of something? Let's see. Roberta says, I'm coming from Long Island, New York. All right. Okay, so as you guys know, I am from New York. So Roberta is like family, but she's, even though she ain't, you know, it's just because we're from the same state. And no, I am not currently working on anything. However, I am preparing for October cancer support cards. Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, let us know, where do you send the cards out individually, or do you do it as a part of a campaign? Where do your cards go, Roberta? And then Maria says, that's Faber-Castell for you. And yes, this is student grade. This is student grade? Ooh. Faber-Castell does craft, student grade, and fine arts. Do tell. Marlene says, all things will smooth out with the tariffs. It will turn out okay. It will. One way or the other. Trouble don't last always. All right, that's close to me, Tennessee, and Calhoun is near me too. All right, so I was right. I wasn't just throwing out random words. I was at some point listening to the man. Even though I may never use that information again, I did hear what he said. So, bravo to me. All right, let's move along. Let's see what it does. Oh, look at how vibrant that is. Now that red was more like actually, I don't even think that was a red. It felt more like a cherry color, like a deep pink. And this is more like a fuchsia. This one isn't as bright as the others, but then again, that's the one I said I'm not going to layer. I'm not going to press down as hard. I'm just going to add additional layers on top. And so perhaps maybe I didn't press hard enough to get enough pigment onto the page, which isn't a problem, because as you clearly can see, there is the option of getting more. All right, so we are moving on to this teal color that I didn't take the time to figure out what the name of it was, but it is gorgeous. And y'all know I love the teals and the turquoises, so I love the whole color scheme, frankly. Let me see. Did it say what color that pencil was? Now I'm curious. There's a number on it, 156. I'll have to look that up because it is a beautiful color. It truly is. Let's see, is it on the package? No, it's not on that. And I'm not going to waste more time looking for it, but I really love that color. All right, and then we've got the baby powder something blue. What is it? Light blue. There we go, light blue. And that other one is middle purple pink. That's middle purple pink. Middle purple pink. All right. I have a list of names, and I also send a package to my sister's pink journey in Detroit. Oh, your sister's in Detroit. Well, if there's anything that I can do to support the cause, we all have someone that we are close to who either has battled it or are battling it or are close to someone, mother, sister, cousin, best friend, So this is not something that, I'm unfamiliar with. My mother's best friend succumbed to it, and she lost her battle, I want to say about 8 years ago. She did go into, she, let me not tell too much of her business, but she was a dear friend of ours. She was basically like family because we grew up with her daughter in Girl Scouts. She was my Girl Scout leader for a couple of years after my mom was my Girl Scout leader, and Miss Gloria still holds a special place in my heart. So yes, if there's any way I can contribute, please let me know. Either you can send me a Facebook message. All right, and let's see. Marlene, I've been working on swatches. Ooh, I bought a sketchbook from Maria. Oh, you did? Wonderful. You'll love it. And I got my idea of having a dedicated sketchbook to swatches from from Pham, the encourager, the enabler. All right. And Pham uses her sketchbook from Maria for swatches. Yes, I do. I certainly do. At some point, I'm gonna have to pull this. I'm gonna be done with this at some point. And when I am, I'm just gonna politely cut it out, sew it back together, slide it into an archive, and then sew a new one back in. Because I'm keeping cover. I don't care if all of these beads eventually fall off. I might put new ones back in. But look how lovely that is. Look at the beading. Show y'all this every time. Y'all gonna be sick of me. You wouldn't be the let's move right along. Um, let me do this is what Maria does, y'all. Maria will put a little dot on the page and then she will work it. So in the following in her footsteps, let me bring this up a little bit, just a little bit. We'll be following her footsteps just for time sake, and hopefully there won't be too much. Yeah, I see some already of the binder. Here's binder at the top in there. And yes, my nails are just so uncute today. All right, so we're gonna. That's a bit much. See if I can get some of that back in there. There we go. All right, that's the yellow. We're gonna be quick about it today. And let's see. Oh, so your sister's Roberta says that my sister's Pink Journey is an organization in Detroit. Okay, so that's the name of the organization. Okay, so I'll take a look and see if there is other ways that, if what are the ways to contribute, or, how to support that one as well. Oh, good Lord. Did y'all cook anything today? Anybody put on a big spread, a big Sunday spread, a big mama's Sunday dinner? Y'all don't want to know what me and Josh had. Ooh, I better get it together before James get back here. James is in New York, Roberta. So, well, I've only been cooking for me and Josh. And Josh is just fine with what we had, garlic, cheese, breadsticks, and salad. I try not to have meat for every meal. I don't think it's necessary. I believe that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Actually, that's how I grew up. We didn't have meat at every meal, and it had nothing to do with affordability. We wouldn't. No one was rich in the 80s, anyways, 80s and 90s. But am I telling my age? This has a lot of binder at the top. Okay, but no, my mother, she did not want our systems backed up with meat. Now granted, we did have cod liver oil on hand in case you did. That was something no one wanted to endure. And so your best bet was to never have that as an issue, because if so, you were going to have some teaspoons or tablespoons of cod liver oil, and that will haunt you for days. The taste of that is there's no getting used to that. If you don't like it the first time, you ain't liking it the fifth or the sixth either. Okay? Not cod liver oil. God. So, so no, we don't. I don't, and I do not feed my child meat for every meal. He will have protein, but not necessarily from meat. So there's that. And I have no idea how I got to that. To that. Oh, I was talking about Sunday dinner. So anybody put on a spread? Your nails are very cute. Marlene, if you saw these things up close, thank you. Bless your sweetheart. Thank you. There's some orange in here, I think. In this, look how pretty that is. I need a little more water. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, I can't wait to paint with this. And I'm going to use this straight out the tube. I'm not going to pan this. This is lovely. Oh, that is something else. I do want to blend it with this blue, but I'm going to resist for now. All right, let's try. Let's try the blue. Now the blue is not as vibrant, but then again, I think that yellow is just really, it's out there. This is actually yeah, that's the light blue. It's not quite that teal. This is blue. Oh, it is light blue. It's not supposed to be a pow blue. This girl. This girl. Now, in the middle of this week, well, tomorrow, I'll be on live tomorrow. And I am going to unbox another item and play with it. I'll probably go on earlier in the daytime because, as you can see, I mean, maybe you can't see because, the personality is just so vibrant itself. But I'm tired. Mama's tired over here. Your good sis and friend is tired. And so the later it gets, the less energy I have. And, I really have to. Y'all not here to, listen to me snoring. Y'all not here for a snooze fest. How dare I come on here lacking energy, low energy. Y'all not here for that. I mean, no. Let me see what happens if I add a little bit more water. So I would like to make sure that I am providing you with the value of content that you're used to. So I'll have to come on earlier. What time? I don't know. If I'm coming on during the daytime, then I probably will announce that. Maybe give you a 30-minute heads up. Y'all ain't working around anyways. I am. So you only need a 30-minute heads up. Turn your notifications on, please. All right. So we've got that. Look at that. Look at the gorgeousness we are experiencing here. Look at that. Look at these colors. I love how vibrant they are. And they are fun. They picked fun colors for this box, which I truly appreciate. Now, last but not least in this box is the dual marker. Well, it says black. So it says dual marker. Huh. I wonder if this is a permanent. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. Now, this feels like a brush tip or... Okay, this is a nib. It's just is this a bullet nib? It's a nice point. All right, so we've got that one. I'm not sure the size of it. It's gold, Faber Aqua. And then we've got, oh, look at that one. So this is that side. And then this is the other side that we just used. I like this one. It's fun. This one is fun to play with. I wish I had it in other colors. I probably will once we go off. I'm going to check and see if they sell these individually or as a set. No cooking today, Maria. Why not? What did your stepfather eat? Did you eat? Come on now. You know what they say? Our generation don't like to cook, which we don't. I mean, but we got to sometimes try to make an effort to make a lie out of them. Just whip up something. Or buy something and pretend you cooked it. You whipped it up, like put it in the pan and put some extra seasonings and stuff on it, some butter or whatever. That's what I do. When I'm trying to be fancy and I ain't got the time or energy. I really don't want to. So, there's a tip for the day. Because I'm giving you no tips with the watercolor box, okay? Let's see, Roberta. It's wonderful to have beautiful weather. Happy for you up there. Marlene says that. Roberta said the weather is beautiful here. I'm sure he is enjoying his stay. Well, yeah, I talked to him a little while ago. He said it was around 60 there. Um, which was good enough for him. I mean, that's better than, I was in New York for all of my life up until the age of 35. And so for that, like it was like the last year that I left. That would make me 36. Anyways, forgive me, Lord, for sinning on the Sabbath. Okay, so this is a water soluble. It doesn't completely um, melt. Melt. Dissolve. It doesn't completely dissolve, but I don't know. Let me see if it will do it after if I do it immediately. You see, the words are slurring. Almost like yeah. Well, I've been up since 4 anyway, so there we go. We have that. Let's see. It's a pretty black though. Where have I heard that before? Anyways, all right. So let's see. Now I should have done what I should have done was, and let me just do it for one. No, I can't do it with this. Not with that. Let me just see something. I think these are pretty translucent. But I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check one thing. Can y'all see the end of here where I am attempting to, did I just get paint on my bead? Huh, okay. Nevertheless, that's not what we're here for. All right. I'm attempting to see if, because I should have did this already. Now, I believe this is a permanent ink. It's good for sketching. Good Lord, Carol, can you stay on task here? Yeah. Yeah, it's a great sketch pen. Oh, that is cute. Is this? Yeah, it's waterproof. She cannot stay focused. Ugh. Between the slurring of the words and the being all over the place, somebody is gonna ask me to do a test. All right, let's see what now. I just have a little bit of. I should have waited for that to dry. But as we can still see, regardless, it is. Let me get a little bit more paint. It is translucent for what it's worth. Even though she couldn't wait for the paint to dry. It is not opaque, which is good. And what does that mean, Maria? Please put in the chat. What does it mean when it's not opaque in terms of the makeup of the medium? You know what I'm trying to say. Humidity. Let's see. I ate yesterday leftovers, and my stepfather has food from the week. We both ate some fruit. Oh, I would love a good fruit salad right now. It's the humidity. Well, I don't mind humidity if my hair's in a ponytail. Don't bother me at all. All right. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, listen. This was a short live. I hope you guys enjoyed the full showcasing of the Faber-Castell's Try It box. Now, I would say, I'm not sure what the cost of this is, but I think anytime you can get a good sampling of a variety of products in one box without having to spend what it would cost for you to try each of these in their individual packs. So let's just say the 6 that we have here, let's just say it may be coming in a count of 18 or 24 for whatever the price may be. You may find that when you purchase it, it doesn't do what you want it to do. You may not be familiar with that brand. So this is always a good idea to try the brand in the sampled forms or an art, what do you call it? A subscription art box where they send you different products to expose you to different brands and different mediums. And so you've got 4 different watercolor paints. I like the paints. I will buy the paints by themselves. I also like these pencils. Now, if I'm being honest, pencils more than I like the watercolor paints, just because what you see is what you get. And that's not, in terms of right here, the color that they show you right here. That you're not, it's, this isn't giving you this. And maybe that's not a good way to gauge it, but for someone as inexperienced as I am, yeah, I want to see it. Okay, so for what it's worth, and then you've got the cup and to give you a few more supplies so that you can open it up and get it started. The only thing they didn't include in here is the watercolor paper. But if this is something you're interested in trying, you probably already have paper to try it on, so you wouldn't be needing to, purchase paper as well. So I like I like trying out different brands like this in this fashion, and I'm grateful that this came in my birthday slash winning box, my good friend box that Maria sent me, because I don't know if I even saw this in any of the local stores, and I probably would not have seen it. It would not have been recommended on Amazon for me, because I don't have a lot of Faber-Castell products. I think I have, is Pit Pins, are those Faber-Castell, Maria? I think that. Good night, Maria. Marlene, have a good night. Get yourself some good rest. If you are available tomorrow, check on the community tab. There'll be a time frame of 30 minutes heads up of when I'll be going live. If I know the time in advance, I'll give you more notice. All right. And so with that being said, okay, you said you got it at Michael's. Yes, Pit Pins are fine art products. But are they Faber-Castell? Who's the maker of those? Those are good pins as well. So um, for what it's worth, I'm not sure the price on this. Feel free to head over to Amazon or Walmart.com to see if there are any individuals that's carrying this. But I'm happy that I found the watercolor pencils. Um, that alone is worth everything in the box. And that's not to say anything about the watercolors themselves. I'm going to use these. I actually like these. But I have other watercolor palettes. It's just not that easy to come across really decent watercolor pencils. I'm not familiar enough with the brands to be able to determine who would make the best pencils. And actually, I would say you can't say who makes the best pencils just based on the brand's reputation. You actually have to try them for yourself, because what one person considers to be good, another artist may consider it not to be something that they're looking for in their medium. So that being said, I'm going to stop rambling here. I want to thank you for stopping by for this short live. It's always exciting to be amongst friends. If you are not a subscriber to this channel and you're watching this video, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that button, along with the thumbs up. If you're still listening to me, for those who are under the sound of my voice, please hit the thumbs up button. And I thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday night evening. Get you some rest so that you can enjoy our Labor Day tomorrow. I'll be working, but I'll be thinking of y'all. All right. See you on the next live. And until we're back here together on YouTube, my friends, stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. Now, y'all know I always have a hard time getting up out of this live. I'm going to hire somebody.